I'm not going to take up too much of your time. I will be coming back to post something within the hour or two. We're going to be posting the subscription offers where you'll pay a monthly subscription, and it could be voluntarily or it could be reoccurring to PayPal, where you will get access to a Snapchat. And we'll be doing specific things. Like I said, those who I'll put something broad out there. And then, of course, if you want to know more than that, you can send me an email. Something that I learned years ago is that the enemy is always watching, right? They want to monitor. It wants to monitor to see what is going on. And so also procrastination. And so this is why I don't put everything out in detail, ahead of time. I wait for people who are serious about, joining things to reach out. And we go from there. Now, also going into this, I want to give a special shout out to Larry, Wonder Medic, and as well as shout out to you all. I hope it's okay to give y'all a shout out, honey. Kiana sent over an email testimony. And of course, I did say I was going to do a call in. And that's I love when people be about business. I love when people stand on what they stand on, right? I love when people say, you know what, I don't know how you're going to go about doing this, but here's my testimony. And of course, like I said, we have the option to donate the video. People have the option to send over an email. And if you do send over email, I will make a video collage of all this together. Now, of course, you guys, I'm pooped. I don't know if you guys can hear it, but I'm pooped, honey. I had a very productive weekend, and yeah, going into, like I said, the subscription. And we'll be able to talk about a lot more, do a lot more behind the scenes that YouTube and stuff, the algorithm want to like silence and shit. Also to stop nosy people from being nosy. Please, And like I said, with the testimonies, I will make a collage of those who send me emails. I'm actually going to go through my emails this week, even pull up old emails, and kind of share feedback and stuff with you all. So yes, that's what we're doing. Like, so I'll be coming back to post about the subscription thing. Now, I do want to say something. People always ask me, right? And this is a honest, very opinionated but factual statement. Um, so people always ask me about manifestation, right? And something that I learned is that the universe or God or whatever energy you venerate deals with the mind. And when the mindset is broken, and only you know what broken is, everyone's broken looks different. But you know what your broken is, because when there's brokenness present, there's a lack of resources, there's lack of connections, there's lack of something. Okay? And it's kind of like a glass, or it's kind of like having, a bowl. When it's whole and complete, you fill it up with water, no water leak out. With holes or cracks, the water will slowly leak out. Maybe a slow leak. Sometimes you pour it in and then immediately pour out. But like I said, everyone's brokenness look different. And so I learned that circumstances change with mindset. People with a certain mindset, regardless of what circumstances are they in, they will always come back to square one. A friend and I had a fight like 10 years ago, I believe, about them putting like a home together for homeless people. And they were going to like build this new apartment complex. And it was going to allow these homeless people that are in like in encampments to be in these shelters. And I was totally against it. And we were fighting about it because she was like, homeless need help too. And blah, 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 blah. And in my mind, I'm like, but these people became homeless due to mindset, not circumstances. Like, people will say this, like, oh, he became homeless because he lived with his mama for 70 years and the mama passed away and so he became homeless. Or he lost everything because he had a divorce and blah, 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 blah. I'm telling y'all this right now. In 2018, I lost everything. I lost everything. And that's a story that we will talk about on another time. But I lost everything except for my motherfucking car. Hello? And I didn't have to sleep in my car neither. But because my mindset was not defeated by my circumstances, I was able to get up out of the energies and even manifest even more. So I know when people are homeless and people are struggling, it's the mindset that has to change. And it goes even to all of you. Your mindset shapes your reality. Collectively, we're broken. Collectively, we feel defeated. And this is why energies who comes across as all powerful and all knowing are ruling. These people have no power. The universe is made out of love. The universe is forever growing because it's only love that grows. Ignorance and hate does not grow. Okay? Hello? Ignorance and hate does not grow. Only love does. So the mindset, like I said, has to change or the circumstances will not get better. And I even saw a story that reminded me of that today. I think it was B. Simone, where she said that she met a homeless woman. And that'd be another thing, too, where I'd be telling people, too, being pushovers and stuff, right? Because I'd be like, God would want you to. You don't know what God would want me to do. You don't know what God would want me to do. And this is why I changed certain things that I do, which like I said, I'm not going to talk about that here. But either way, B. Simone said she met a homeless lady, or she met a lady who was struggling. She paid for the lady to get a hotel. She was paying for the kids to get their hair cut. She was even like Ubering them to church and stuff. 6 months later, she decided to buy a house for this lady. Mind you, when she met this lady in this hotel was raggedy. It was ran down. There was shit everywhere. And then she bought a house and thought that she would charge this lady rent. And when she got inside this house, the house was even more fucked up than the hotel. And of course, the lesson that she learned was being a steward to her money. And also, not all good things are God things. And I always say that. But people say I'm antisocial, that I'm anti-person. And I'm like, no, I'm just somebody who came from nothing. I'm somebody who was, all odds were against me. And because of my mindset, and there's a process to that, it shifted, my reality shifted. And as I tell people, victimization is your choice. Your choice is victimization. You're a victim because you choose to be that victim. You're a victim of certain circumstances because you choose to be that. In 2026, we have free phones. In 2026, we have access to the World Wide Web. You could type in anything you want to type in. Instead of people researching how to save, how to budget, how to get a certain amount of income each month, people will look up how to fight over political parties, how to fight over racial alignments, how to fight over sexualities and sexual orientations. And I'm just like, this is why the world is broken. America's not broken because of Donald Trump. America's not broken because of the MAGAs. America is broken because of the American mindset. America has been racist for all these years because of the American mindset. In 2026 and beyond, there's no more excuses. We have to get our mindset correct. When you're in your energies and you're going through whatever it is that you're going through, you have to get your mindset correct. You have to get your mindset together. And there's nowhere around that. Even going into the magical stuff, because a lot of you, we know you came from spiritual knowledge off of, jailbreaks, jailbirds, con artists. That's how you got your spiritual knowledge. And so you think you're going to burn a candle, get some incense, and now the money is gone. Or the money problems is gone. Now the man is going to come back. You think because you're going to boil a pot with just your panties in it, that's going to keep this man hooked on you. But the mindset is still fucked up. The mindset is still entitled. The mindset is still disrespectful. And so even if it does manifest, it's not going to last. And so this is what I go into. This is what separates me from other spiritual people. And a lot of people don't want to invest that time. They want to overnight. They want an instant success. They want things just happen like that. And it's like, but imagine you having 100 years to live, and at 40 years old, you're expecting something to happen overnight. A saying that was taught to me a long time ago, it says as quickly as you get it, is as quick as you're going to lose it. And this goes on everything. So why not spend the time getting to know yourself, knowing what it is that you want, and finding exactly what you need and you truly desire? A lot of people, they're not manifesting the life they want because they don't know what they want. A lot of people literally has been dating since they were 9 years old. And I'm not joking. I know somebody who's never been single and they're 43 years old. They've been dating since 9 years old. And I'm like, how is that even possible? So they don't know what it's like to think for themselves. They don't know what it's like to do things for themselves. And so now that they have to do things for themselves, they're like, I gotta have it. I need it now. I need it. I'm tired of being lonely. You're not tired of being lonely because you've never been lonely. You're codependent. And that codependency is what got you feeling stuck and stagnant now. You have to learn to love yourself. You have to learn to enjoy your own company. Because trust and I tell you this, baby, if you're bored with yourself and you find somebody who's not bored with you, even though you're bored with yourself, they're also bored with themselves. So you got two boring ass, basic ass people together. How exciting would that be? How exciting would that be, babe? You got two boring, basic, we're not gonna say self-hating, but don't love their own company as people. Like, to me, that is crazy. That go crazy to me. But of course, like I said, I know everybody's mindset is different. So that is really just something that I encourage you all to ponder on. The mindset. The mindset. You thinking that you're going to manifest this new life. And you're like, God, bless me. But the mindset has not changed. And I even have led by example for family and friends. And that's why Spirit have told me to step back. Spirit have said, let them find their own way. Going even into Jeremiah, going into a lot of biblical prophets and motivational speakers, if you may say. They spoke to nations, not family and friends, because family and friends probably didn't listen to them. Family and friends probably wouldn't care. Like, oh, this is another broke motherfucker. Oh, this is another basic motherfucker trying to tell him what to do. But the energy and the spirit, like I said, it never lies. And so either way, people, they're not being consistent with themselves, and they're asking, like, God, bring me this new car, bring me this new life, bring me this, bring me that. But they're not willing to elevate. They're not willing to elevate. And you cannot, and I'm telling you this right now, and I'm willing to bet any amount of money that anybody wants, that you cannot elevate if the mindset is not prepared for change. If somebody have told you, hey, I think you can function better without drugs, and you're like, oh, I don't give a fuck, I'm never gonna give up my marijuana. You're not ready for change. So you're not ready to elevate. And then you're asking God to bring in new things for you, and it's not gonna happen because you're willing to hold on to things that does not benefit you. And it's like a juggle, like you're juggling, right? And so, like I said, going into elevation, when I'm speaking to God and I'm speaking to, my ancestors and my spirits, I'm always asking about nourishment of my mindset. And whatever I am tasting, whatever I'm feeling that is not going to get me closer to my peace of mind or my salvation, remove it from me. And it may not happen instantly, but it does. I look back and I'm like, damn, there's a lot of things I used to like, I never thought I would live without. There's a lot of things that I thought that I could not live without. I thought I was going to always do them. I thought I was going to always have to have it. And looking back, I'm like, damn, I got rid of that without even on it. It wasn't even a thought for me to say, I don't need that. It wasn't even a thought for me to say, oh, what am I going to do? I'm shaking. I'm having withdrawal symptoms, you know? And so that's what it really comes down to. People are not willing to elevate, but they want to have the better life. They want to go against the grain. They want to, regardless of how dark the world is, they want to excel. They want to manifest. But like I said, they're not willing to elevate. And elevation starts with the mindset changing. That's the only way. Nothing else is going to work. Nothing else is going to pull through. Nothing else is going to matter if the mindset is screwed. And of course, I tell people, going into the 30-day manifestation ritual that we did, shout out to those of you who signed up for it online. 30 days is a very, powerful number. 90 days is even more powerful. And it takes a certain amount of time for the mindset to change. I've heard people say, I haven't smoked or I haven't drunk this or that for a week. 7 days, that doesn't matter. Anybody could do that. 3 days, anybody could do that. If you have the stomach flu, just think about this from this perspective. If you had the stomach flu or you had the stomach virus or anything like that, or you're battling anything internal, 7 days, baby, that's how long you're sick for. So you're not going to be like chowing down hot Cheetos. You're not going to be chowing down, cake. You're not going to be drinking wine, drinking vodka, drinking tequila. You're not going to be drinking that shit in those 7 days. What becomes a challenge, almost like a cellular reset, is 21 days. Is you saying for 3 weeks, I have not had blah, say, blah, say, blah. That's when you know for sure what it is and what it ain't. 1 week, 2 weeks, 3 days, 1 day, that doesn't matter. And that's even something else too that I'm going to talk about, like I said, personally. Because, family and friends, they watch my stuff. And I put something out there. A lot of times I think I'm talking to them and I'm really not. That's why I'm not even a fan of like mixing business with pleasure. I already told y'all that. I'm not a fan of, and I'm glad that, some of my people to understand that, when I'm on here, I'm talking to my people. Okay. If I want to talk to you, I can call you directly. And, like I said, they'll think that, I'm coming for them. And I'm like, baby, it's a statement, honey. I'm speaking my opinion because, ain't no way. Like I said, I've been through some shit in my life, honey. And I don't do drugs. I don't drink. I don't smoke. I don't pop pills. I don't do none of that. I don't even take pain pills. When it come down to doing dental work and stuff and surgeries and stuff, like 3 days, I'll take whatever they give me. After those 3 days, baby, I'm on to something else. And I found out even a mixture of herbal medicine that works for pain for me. And I have a high tolerance for pain, by the way. Well, they say I have high tolerance. I don't think I do. But they say I do, honey. But it works, okay? You take it and you feel it, honey. And so either way, that's what I do. And like I said, I don't do nothing else. So it's like, what would I have to go through respectfully to make me say, I have to become best friends with drugs. I have to become best friends with Percocet. I got to become best friends with Xanax. I have to become best friends with Chardonnay or Cabernet Sauvignon. I probably said it wrong. Who gives a fuck? It is what it is. I don't drink that poison, respectfully. I don't drink that poison. But like I said, what would I have to go through to have that? Because I've been through a lot of things. But like I said, I've never sought out comfort in those things. And that's really what people do. They replace people and even medical help for this other stuff. And like I said, everybody find their own way how they find. Don't think I'm judging. That's what you choose to do. Um, but like I said, elevating, changing the mindset. This is how you're going to get to where you need to get to. Okay, respectfully. And that's even crazier to think about as well, y'all. They say that a lot of people, LGBT, because I have family members who sold drugs coming back from like the 1960s on up. And the most recent one I would say I know of was my brother in the 2000s, honey, and until he went to prison for it. But he was saying that the LGBT was like their number one supporters, and I was like, to even be a part of that community and to never once say, I want to see what Mecca feels like. I want to see what it's like to Papa X, or I don't know. Like it never crossed my mind. I never needed to numb myself to feel some type of energy, or hey, this makes you feel more sexual, more sensual. And I'm like, but I don't need this stuff to make me more sexual, more sensual. Like you know what I mean? Like I am already like I'm already that way. So I don't need, you know what I mean? I don't need the extra boost of that. Or, oh, they need that to relax. And I'm just like, magnesium, that's what relaxes the fuck out of me. Or going for a walk. Right before bed, I eat my dinner, I go for a walk. While I'm walking, I'm doing deep breathing exercises. And by the time I come home, girl, I'm knocked out. Sometimes I'm knocked out, don't even know I'm knocked out. So I'm just like, are you getting comfort in that? Or are you holding on to people and places that are no longer serving you? Are you holding on to friendships and relationships that mean you harm? Because they don't mean you well. I mean, they say that no relationship is perfect, but if I got to fight with my partner or my spouse about the same shit over and over again, either they're dumb or I'm done. And two dummies or one dummy in an equation don't work out. We both got to be able to have critical thinking skills, baby. We got to both be able to have a brain and use the brain. Unless you're a caretaker, but it's never going to work out. So it's like in my mind, if we're arguing, we need to argue about something new. It can't be the same. So, oh, I keep telling you about putting your toothbrush. Listen, divorce and find somebody who don't mind if your toothbrush on left side of the sink. Oh, we keep talking about the same shit about you spend too much money, you gamble. Divorce that gambler in the name of love. Like I said, I'm not going to keep arguing with friends, family, associates, clients, or anybody over the same bullshit over and over and over again. That's not smart. That's called insanity. And something got to give. And it's not going to be me. Okay? Something got to give, something got to break, something got to go. Okay, and I'm willing to go in the name of love to protect my sanity, to protect my peace of mind. I'm willing to go. A lot of people we're not willing to go. We're not willing to go out and see the other in America, 300 and some odd million in the world, the seven billion and some odd million, some odd thousand people out there. We're not ready to go see. We're too ingrained. Our mindset is fixed on this, and that, and it has to be this way. And if it doesn't work out, I gotta still make it work out. That's not what the scripture says. Hello, that's not what. If God, if the universe, if the spirits ordained you to, if the Holy Spirit is moving in that, there's no such thing as, girl, we fighting over dumb shit. Like, life is short. And no, it's not easy, but I'd rather be fighting over peace in the world than to be fighting the person I live with and worried about when I close my eyes because we got into a big fight if I'm going to wake up or not. Because, things are getting crazy on that side too, where husbands and wives are taking each other out. I mean, parents, taking out their own children and shit too. Like, it's crazy to even think about. But this is where it comes into finding your peace, changing your mindset. And if people don't want to change, as I posted the other day, some people are afraid and intimidated about you changing because they benefited from your brokenness. They benefited from your trauma. Some people you've met while you were recovering in your trauma. Some people you met when you just started your trauma. When you're healing and you start to elevate, you start to see an incompatibility. You start to see how there's really nothing there, or there's possibly a huge lack of something there. Okay. And then, of course, if it's meant to be, as you elevate, they also have to elevate. But when they're like, oh, you keep saying the same shit over and over again, or hey, you say that, but I don't see it from that perspective. And it's like, but what other perspective would you need to see it from? Because I don't play with the devil. I don't have any type of substances that cloud my judgment. My thought process is very clear. My thought process is Holy Spirit dependent. Hello? Hello? That's the only energy that I'm codependent on is the Holy Spirit. So y'all don't understand because you think it's a Christian thing and I'm not really a Christian. I'm not really this and that. But you, hey, that's why the world's so fucked up now. You ain't gotta be a Christian, honey, to know the Holy Spirit. Hello? You don't gotta be a Christian to know the holy flame. Hello, that internal fire. And so I'm just saying, changing the mindset. And those who don't want to, meet them where they're at. Honey, when you have that free time, when you feel like being that human person, people say we're human, so we all have to get down and dirty sometimes. Yeah, when you feel like being a human, then you reach out to those people and tell them, bitch, keep your distance. Focus on elevating your mind and watch what changes, y'all. Watch your changes, honey. Like I said, honey, shout out to those of you who benefited from the 30-day manifestation. Most people that took it was actually in person. Some of you did take it online. If you want to come forward and talk about it, you can. But yeah, honey, readings, all the good stuff, clarity, honey, and hopefully you're really fully focusing on, manifesting. And that's another thing too, y'all. We cannot walk in this world naive. We cannot walk into this world blindly. We cannot go to a psychic or a reader and take what they say face value and only what they're saying is what it is. We have to go into the space of connecting with the higher power. We have to say, you know what? I'm going to get this reading done with this person, ancestors, spirit guides, mama, pop, whatever, whoever, God. And whatever they give me, I want you to filter through what is being presented to me, or go in there with an open mind and say, Spirit, allow this to guide me into the right way, the way that is best for me. That's simple. And watch what happens. I think sometimes people be so fixated on the reading versus what to do now. People be so fixated on the actual casework versus the results. And of course, like I said, if I come to a reader, if I come to a spirit, an intercessor, because that's really what a reader and stuff is. These are intercessors. Hello. These are people that are going in on your behalf to access information for you. At that point, I'm getting that information and now I'm going to work on this energy. Now I'm going to say, if this insight is from you, God, if this insight is from the Most High, if this insight is from Buddha, Jehovah, whoever, whatever you believe in, then give me the knowledge that I need to navigate to repel this, because that's another thing too. God doesn't give you the spirit of fear. And if there's any reader, any psychic, any clairvoyant out there who is putting fear in you and they put a curse on you and you got to be careful and you got to get this work done and you got to get this cleanse work, they are not of your higher self. They are not for your greater good. Even if you don't want to be, let's say, loving light, because a lot of us, we got trauma. A lot of us were broken and we don't want to get healed. So we think it's cute to walk around and playing with the devil and acting like we devil worshipers. Shit, girl, you don't scare me. I'm not afraid of the dark. I'm not afraid of the dark, baby. Demons don't scare me. Okay? Met them, seen them, played with them a little bit, honey. Demons do not scare me. Your power is not greater than the light. Guarantee it. Okay? And so, like I said, people don't want to get that love and light. They don't want to be a part of that. But you still have to go in there with focus and saying, what am I getting out of this information? And fear and stuff, that stagnates you. Fear, anxiety, worrying, stress, that is not of the higher self. Going even into scientific, y'all. Look up what stress and anxiety and worry does to the body. Um, and I'm gonna say this, and I'm gonna be done. My mom had a friend before I was even born who died, and they would always say this lady died from stress. And I'm like, this lady died from stress. I'm like, what the fuck? How's that possible? Y'all, I was like 9 or 10 years old, and I already knew what stress was. I think I already knew what anxiety was too, girl. Like by the time I was like 11 or 12, like you're so anxious, you need to calm yourself down. And so either way, we would go to her cemetery, her grave site, and I was like, how is this possible? And as I got older, I was so obsessed, y'all, and very much fascinated by medical. Like my high school that I went to, we actually had like what they call like not co-eds. It's like you would take uh, high school and then you would take like extra credits for like automotive, you would take extra credit for like medical, you would take extra credit for whatever, right? And so they had this program where you would like do that. And of course I took medical. Always loved the human body, still love the human body, still do my research and stuff on the human body. I think the human body is so amazing. If you want to know God, get to know the human body, the human anatomy, biology, chemistry. I love it. Cells, the the neurons. I love all that. And so, of course, I did my internship, externship, and all that, girl. Yes, honey. But anyway, so I've always been fascinated with this stuff. And so as I got into it, I was like, how does stress kill the body? And literally, y'all, stress stops you from digesting. Stress shuts down your immune system. Stress allows you, or it slows down the brain from functioning. The body gets put into a reserve or reservation mode, and it literally stops working. And so, yes, honey, constipation, that's stress. Honey, people are like, I've been constipated for 5 years, 6 years, 7, 8 years. That is stress on the body. Honey, diabetes, high blood pressure. This is stress. Honey, there's no way around it. You can take all the meds you want. You could fast all you want. You could do all that, but you're definitely not praying. Because one thing that I know about God, regardless of what spirit you're working with, if it is a spirit of love, it is the spirit of taking you to your higher level of elevating your mind, it will teach you about not stressing, letting things go. So people will literally say they pray, they will fast, they'll write, they'll do this. Oh, I do this for stress, but they're still stressing. And so then I wonder why the high blood pressure won't go down unless they take medicine. Then I wonder why they're on 12 different meds. Then I wonder why they're constipated. You're too uptight. You're too anxious. Relax. Your blood vessels are constricted. Your bowels are constricted. The vessels, the arteries are constricted. And let's not throw stress in with bad diet. Let's not throw stress in with bad intake. And so this is why there's a lot of sickness. And I haven't had to put this on somebody's thing before because there was some health guru guy that was trying to work with me years ago. And even, he still comes around and say, hey, ooh. And I tell him respectfully, you need to start telling your people that a raw diet ain't going to heal you. You can go to the equator, girl. You can move to Belize. You can move to Honduras. You can move to Costa Rica. You can move to Colombia. You can move to Brazil. If your environment, which is the people you are around, and I want you to hear this very loud and clear. If the environment is not a healing environment, that raw food shit is not going to save your life. People have still died being raw. People have still died being vegan. People have still died fasting and stuff. You know why? Because they did not relax. They were not in a healing space. They were not surrounded by love and stress freeness. They were always worrying. They were always anxious. And of course, we know that's demonic attack. We know that's spiritual attack. There's nothing godly about that. So I just want to do without giving too much that with you all, that the mindset has to change. thinking about it right now. What can I do? Is there one thing in my life that I can change that will help me get to where I need to get to? I know people that have an eating problem. They're like a food addict. And of course, I would be considered one of those people too. But I learned that everything has to be in moderations. And I know that there's a reason why there's a spirit of gluttony, which is a seven deadly sin. And so they starve themselves to lose weight. And then, of course, they end up getting the weight back or they end up developing, a health issue. And it's like, but why not just eat what you eat, but slow down on your intake? Why not say, what can I improve? We know we need nutrition. We know we need hydration. And we know we need not just rest, but we need actual sleep. Because rest is taking a break. Okay? Rest doesn't mean sleep, it means to cease or to stop. Okay? To stop something. I'm taking a rest from that. Right? And so, either way, that's what it comes down to. What can I do to improve my hydration? What can I do to improve my relaxation? What can I do to improve my sleep quality? And as you start being focused on these three things, everything starts to make sense. But as I keep telling y'all, I know for a fact that everybody is, and I'm really hoping, y'all, because, I want to be the light of change, honey. I want to be the light of change, honey. I'm hoping that everyone who watches me, listen to me, is on that frequency. Because a lot of people is not going to be healed. A lot of people cannot beat and will not survive cancer. A lot of people will not beat and will not be able to cure or reverse diabetes. A lot of people will not be able to live past 60 years old, 65 years old. Everyone is not going to be able to do that. Because that's just how it is. Everybody's not, and hopefully one day we get to that point. But the way the system is set up, that there has to be a loser. There has to be a sick person. There has to be an unhealed person. There has to be an unwell person. And that's my convention, my prayer every day. That, honey, I don't want to cross paths with people that if they are in that state of mind, that they want to make a change. Outside of that, I don't want to be nowhere near that, God. I don't want to be nowhere near that Holy Spirit. Because there's no purpose there. Right? There's no purpose there. And of course, like I said, people say that it's a good thing, so it's a God thing, and it's not. Because God will put you in places where there's an assignment at, which means there's people that want to make a change, but they don't know how to. When you get around people because they're people or they're your people and they don't want to make a change, but you still want to be there, stop saying it's God that put you there, because it's not God that put you there. God put you around people for purposes and reasons, honey. God just don't put you around people. He just don't say you're human, so you should be around other humans, regardless of your likeliness. That's not how that works, babe. You're around people who are different from you to learn something or to give something. There's no way around that. You cannot be in relationships with people. You cannot have connections with people and not give or receive. It has to be both. Because even the teacher teaches the student, but the student also teaches the teacher. And that's the biggest conception or misconception people really don't understand. Is that the teacher is the teacher, but the teacher also must be taught. Even going into reality, teachers go to seminars. Teachers have to take conferences. Same thing with doctors. Doctors have to do medical conferences to learn new technologies, new ways. And that's how we are as people. We have to be around new energy, new identities, new frequencies to learn something about not only others, but about ourselves. I would not know anything about myself if I didn't know anything about the crackhead. I would not know anything about myself if I didn't know anything about the white person, the straight person, the black man, the Hispanic man. I would not know anything about myself if I didn't see the homeless person. God is not showing me these people to say, you got to get down up in here. Because it's godly for you to get down there and play with them. God is saying something in you and something in them. Something in you they can learn from, and something in them you can learn from. And that's what these meetings are about. It's what these connections are about. But like I said, honey, I don't want to keep it too long. I know a lot of that stuff go over people's head, and that's why I want to have certain dialogue, with the people. Okay, and we're calling it subscriptions and all that, but we're gonna call it the house of the coven because, baby, you're going to be. I'm gonna be a part of the root system. I'm not the roots. I'm be a part of the rooting system, honey, and you're gonna be a part of the tree stump in the branches, in the fruit that comes from those branches, honey. And that's what it's about. Because see, we always talk about change and we gotta make a change and we gotta do better. And the only way to make a change is we gotta separate it, we gotta segregate, and we need to separate the white people from the black people. Wrong! Wrong! White people's God is not separate from your God. Wrong! And this is why you're fucked up. And this is why the world's fucked up. Okay? That is not the original plan at all. So you learn about people, you learn about different lifestyles, you learn about different frequencies. What they say, when in Rome, you do what the Romans do. You don't gotta become a Roman. Just like physically speaking, we travel to China, we respect the rules. I mean, if you're smart, you go to another country, you got to respect their culture and their rules, but you don't become them, right? You don't go to a city where they're eating fucked up food, and you're like, well, now I'm here, I got to eat this too. No, you don't. You're there to see the people. You're there to connect. You're there to see other creations that were made by God, but you're not there to become it. You're your own person. You're your own identity. You're your own culture, and that's what I keep saying too. When you know your own culture, you know yourself. Nothing could change you. You being a heterosexual person and you know that you're heterosexual, being around gay people don't make you gay. You being somebody who's secured in your blackness, you being around white folks and Hispanic folks and other folks doesn't make you non-black or less black, honey. Okay, you being brown and you being confident that girl, you rubbing up on these people is not gonna make you get straight hair and lighter skin. Like that's not how that works. Okay, it's a lesson. Learn that lesson, honey. Be mindful, like I said, and move differently because those with a certain mindset move differently, right? As we talked about with the eagle system, I'm going to have a little story for y'all about the eagle, the lion, and the snake. Okay? Each one of these things see things differently. Hello? They move differently. They're all a part of the creation, but they all see things differently. They all have their own purpose. And because they intermingle or they may live in the same area or same atmosphere, neither one of them changes each other. They might be a threat to each other, but it doesn't change, right? Where there's predominantly snakes at, that frequency is not more green. Where there's predominantly lions at, that frequency is not more brown. Where there's predominantly eagles at, that frequency is not more blue. Learn something, honey. And like I said, honey, what I'm gonna start leaving y'all with is saying, do something good for yourself. And on top of that, have dialogue with each other. Have some inner dialogue. Does this make sense, spirit? What is this? What is this person trying to tell me? When you're watching TV shows, movies, yeah, I used to like certain TV shows. I don't find them entertaining or amusing anymore. I used to like being around certain people. I don't find them amusing or entertaining no more. I used to feel like, oh my God, I love this energy. I'm gonna always be, and I would even see, oh my God, when I get older, I'm gonna be around this energy and these people. And now I don't like it. Now I don't want it. Now I keep my distance. Now some of them have been blocked. And this is not me choice, it's just girl. I'm not gonna spend a second on a second because things changes in a minute. In a blink of an eye, things could change. I don't want to spend my last minutes, my last seconds, or even in that frequency, fucking with and doing things that are not gonna benefit me in the long run. And that's what it comes down to. A lot of us, we've been comfortable. And the universe didn't make the world or make life to be comfortable. You were not meant to be comfortable in life. And that's just that. Some of us, our grandparents and our parents and even their parents would come home, they would work, they would come home, watch their favorite TV show, eat their dinner in front of the TV, And they'll go to bed. They never traveled. They never got out and see the world. They never got to, get out and meet a friend, shake a hand, and even going into, like I said, and they did this for a long time. They did it from like 50 years old until they died at 80 something. And it's like, that is no way to live, honey. Like, even going into like my nana, like, I'm like, honey, my nana, she literally would watch all her soap operas, As the World Turns, The Days of Our Lives, all these damn TV shows, talk shows all day, glued in front of that TV, drinking her black coffee, okay? Glued in front of that TV, get up, go potty, and this is her cycle every day. Every day, honey. Okay, and of course, we did things, family events, family reunions, all this stuff, weddings, blah, 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 blah. But outside of that, there was no excitement for her. And so I'm just like, damn, like, I don't want that to be my life. I don't want to live that type of life. I don't want to be in that type of frequency. And so, like I said, we have to do better. We got to use our brains. Because mom and daddy did it. I mean, it was good for them. And same thing with you. Honey, what are you going to do with your life to make your life better? Honey, are you living or are you existing? Honey, 8 billion people, 7 alleged continents. 7 alleged continents. And we say alleged because, they play stupid because they know we ain't going to go out and check our damn selves, girl. They put the shit in the book for their own self, girl. We got 7 alleged continents. Okay? Alleged. Hello? So like I said, what are you doing? What are you doing to live? What are you doing differently? Huh? Are you talking different? Are you walking different? What are you willing to sacrifice for that new job, the new car, the new man, that new woman? If you're not manifesting it as you now, what are you willing to change in that mindset that's going to allow that frequency to move? Because sometimes what they say, delays are not denials. In that delay, God is trying to prepare you for what is to come. And so God is saying you spend this time getting to know yourself. God is saying you spend this time to get acquainted with yourself. I know people that are trying to manifest new man and shit, girl, ooh, somebody might think this is for them right now. I know somebody who was trying to manifest. We'll move on to another storyline because somebody gonna think I'm talking about them. I know somebody was trying to manifest them a mate, and they had a 3-bedroom, 2-bathroom house because they were like, "Oh, I'm gonna get married one day. I'm gonna have kids one day," and all the closets in this house was filled up with shit. So it's like when you get this mate, where they shit gonna go? Oh, well, they're not gonna live with me for the first whatever. Okay, that's understandable, but you don't even got space for them to come in. This is all metaphorically, like your eyes is your, what they say, window to your soul. Your brain is constantly scanning your environment. Hello? Your eyes are constantly scanning your environment through your brain because your eyes is your brain. Hello? And so your mind, your brain is what makes your reality a reality. So if you're telling yourself, oh, this new woman is coming, this new man is coming, I'm doing all the love work, I'm doing all the sex rituals and all that. But your eyes and your physical brain is saying, but where they gonna go? Where they gonna come to? Do you got room? Even going into time. I was explaining that, but time management. God put time for a reason for you to manage your time. People don't have time management. And that's why they feel like, oh, time has been flying by. You don't have time management skills. I've been on time management for some time, and it does not feel like time is flying by for me no more. I used to be like, oh, girl, it's already Tuesday. Oh, girl, it's already Friday. Oh, my God, it's already June. Oh, it's already July. I don't run everything in with each other no more. I set aside time for things. And that's how you do this. So like I said, manifesting this new life, this new job. Do you have time to work a new job? You've already set a schedule. You go to bed at 3 o'clock in the morning. You wake up at 10 o'clock in the morning. What happens if this job needs you to work overnight? Can you? What if this job needs you to come in at 6 o'clock in the morning? Are you ready to switch your schedule out? Because if you are willing to switch your schedule out, why don't you switch it out now? What's stopping you from going to bed at 9 or 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock at night? This is just realistic things that you're asking yourself. I'm trying to manifest, but the mind is still broken. The mind is not ready for what you're trying to manifest. Your mind can't even piece it together. And that's what I always think too when I'm doing things, y'all. I'll be thinking to myself like, damn, I want to do. And then I start looking around like, but where's it going to go? How is this going to happen? Can we talk about it? I manifested two things. I'll be done, I promise. I come here and I talk. But see, this is why we don't get on here every day. Because see, we could talk. Hello. I manifested two things. I manifested a beautiful vanity set. Beautiful. In a matter of like, I think 2 weeks. I manifested another item, which I'm not going to put out there because, of course, I haven't shared it with one of my people yet. And literally, I had it on my mind and I said, what I need this. I gotta have this. Spirit, I gotta have this. Make this happen. Bingo. It happened. It happened, y'all. And of course, obstacles came up and it tried to stop it. But of course, I said, God, I'm gonna trust in you because I know that my mind is ready for this to happen. Same thing with the vanity set. I literally did things like, okay, I gotta make space for this. Let me throw shit away. Let me get rid of shit. Shit I'm not needing. And the vanity set's gonna go right here. I want this like this. I just had in my mind a vanity set. I didn't know what my vanity set was gonna, I said, I want a vanity set. I went to a place just out the window and say, hey, I'm gonna go to this place because I know they're gonna have what I need. Just happened they had a sale too. And I went in there and boop, I saw two things. I was like, oh, I want that, I want that, I want that. And bingo. And I was like, so what I gotta do? I'll be back, whatever. And they're like, no, you can get it today. You don't gotta worry about coming back. You can do it today. And I was like, well, I don't think I'm ready. And bitch, bye. Fill the shit out. And he's like, well, you just let us know when you want it delivered. And I was like, okay. Bitch did it and I got it. So this was all thinking about wanting a vanity set and actually having it was a 3-week process. And of course it could have been a 2-week process, but I told them to give me a week because I wasn't even fully ready, y'all. I still had shit in the way. But I was just gagging like, this is how the mind works. And you got to be strong on your decisions. And so the same thing with that new job. What is your sleeping schedule looking like? Do you have the energy to work? If they say, hey, we need you to work overtime, would you have the energy to do that? With the man, with the woman. Hey, realistically, they're probably not going to live with you, but do you have space for them to come live with you? Because the mind is helping you manifest. So you look around and the closet's filled up. You look around, you're like, damn, would a man really be able to move in here? Huh? Would I be able to really have a man in this tiny ass place? Honey, like it's steps to it. If you guys have a date, how are you going to get to this date? Are they always going to come and get you? I mean, these are realistic things. Like, what are your goals? Work towards your goals, and like I said, allow the energies to manifest in. Like I said, I'm gonna go without giving out too much tea. Let me see what's up in here. If there's anybody up in here, honey. Come on in here. Jayla Maldonado, 67. I don't know what that means. Anderson de la Cruz. Hello. Anderson. Hello. Isaiah Soares. Yes. Hola, hola. ¿Cómo estás? I lied. I fight. I fled. What does that mean? Konnichiwa. Konnichiwa. Yes, honey. Yes, honey. That's hello in Japanese. Uh-huh. Yes, honey. And peace and love. Peace and love to you too. Namal Anal. Nama Anal. Is it Nama Ane? I don't know. I can't say if that's the L or not. Peace and love to you too as well. Namaste. Okay, the power of God is moving, honey, on this planet, and I hope y'all ready. And I'm not I'm not a Christian. I believe in God. Hello, and you don't got to be a Christian to know that God exists neither. Hello, God is coming through in everything, honey. Look at what's going on, honey. What does y'all algorithm look like? Oh, come on in here. See, that's another thing y'all not ready for. What is on your algorithm? What is on your algorithm? When you go onto YouTube, what does YouTube share with you the most? When you go on TikTok, if you get on there, what does TikTok share with you the most? Like, this is your reality. This is your reality. Okay, that's the turtles. Okay, I was like, wait, what's going on up in there, honey? What's going on? Let me grab my piece. It's my piece. Where my piece is still at, girl. We're gonna do the Beretta. We're gonna do the Weston. We're gonna do the Ranger. What we gonna do? We're gonna do the purple. We're gonna do the peak. We're gonna do the chrome. Which one, girl? We're gonna do the long barrel, the short barrel. Which piece we need to grab? Please, Anyway, that's it, y'all. I really gotta go. Love and light. Have a great week, y'all. Happy full moon. I hope y'all stand on top of your stuff, staying positive. Don't let people deter you and get in your way, honey, because demons are real. Hello? And everybody that smile on your face ain't your motherfucking friend. Okay. And so anyway, I will have something to talk about in a couple of days when we do meet again. Like I said, give it a couple of hours. I'll be sharing something on the community post about a personal or private subscription, monthly subscription type of thing. So we go to some real live TTT where they have awesome videos already lined up. Yes, we do. Girl, we got more, honey, where we're getting out into the hello. A lot of things they made for YouTube like that, girl, on TikTok like that. Girls think, girls going out into the rain and shit, doing work on people and shit in the rain. You know, Magic 101. That's not what you do. Girls going to the rivers and shit and trying to fuck people up and shit. That's not how that work, baby. That's not how that work. Learn your elements first. Learn your elements first. That's just an idea. If I'm going to mess somebody up, I'm going to go to the desert or I'm going to go to a mountainous place, get up into the mountains and do some things in the mountains. I'm not going to be at a beach. I'm not going to be at the water. You're doing that to bring things to you, hon. When they say cleanse, you're removing what you're bringing to you. Okay? It sounds like somebody another did a protection honey jar. No shade. They made a honey jar for protection. And I'm like, okay, baby. So now you're going to have more things to come to you that you're going to need protection from. Okay? Same thing with doing work on people in the rain. It's just rinsing the shit clean. You want to go to something solid. And if you are going to go to a water, you need to go to a swamp or a sewer line. A sewer, what they call it? Not a sinking pot. What they call those holes? What they call those holes? Like, what is it? Like, is it a sink tank? What they call a place? Hold on. Let me see what they call a place. Hold on. Let me see what they call a place where the sewage is. I think it's just a sewage plant. What is a sewage plant? Or what's another word for sewage plant? It is, okay. It's the sewage plant. But there was something else I was thinking of. Municipal wastewater? Is that what I was thinking of? No. Okay, well, it is what it is, honey. It's a wastewater treatment plant. That's where you're gonna go if you want to fuck somebody up, sour somebody up, babe. And just so you know, baby, the Holy Spirit will knock, destroy, and burn down some tea. Ask that hoe. Listen, let me step back. See, you got to do things in secrecy. Never mind. Loving like you guys, twospiritmystic.blogspot.com, 28spirit8mystic@gmail.com. You can message me and, get your casework done, get your consultation work done, and all that tea. And soon to be behind the scenes system spiritual tea. Please, listen, hello? This is going to be seen the way that nobody, listen, y'all, I'm telling y'all, we're doing things behind the scene that people, you have not seen on YouTube, you have not seen on TikTok, you have not seen these people do. That's what we're doing behind the scenes, honey. Yes, honey. We're doing things that you won't see no other girl, no other boy, no other it, no other non, no other them, they, there, how, why, do before, honey. It is what it is. It is what it is, girl. And we gotta do it privately because hoes want to bite and they want to give you credit. That's what they do. They'll take a class, and all of a sudden they start their own shit. Now all of a sudden, girl, they got a little bit of knowledge. Like, girl, you did not get no real tea, girl. What mystery school or occult tea did you go to? Cause, girl, where fit? Listen, let me go. Bye, y'all. Love y'all. Peace and love. Bye for now.